Oh, and you've got a countdown clock even.
Hey, John, Zach Beaver. I started email 2 weeks ago. Haven't had a chance to reach out to you. Obviously, trying to get some hard work in before getting let go today. I saw that you saw my post, but just thought I finally, now that I have a chance to reach out to you, I'll give you a call. If you get a chance, give me a call back, 651
Okay, we do in fact have a fancy little countdown. We just added that the last time. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So thanks to everyone that's joining live, and thank you to everyone that's gonna watch the recording. So to start off, we always like to shout out Center for Rural Affairs. They sponsor pretty much all of our monthly webinar trainings, and without them, we may not be able to do these. So we highly want to thank them.
Hello, my name is Anthony Garola, and I'm a loan specialist with the Center for Rural Affairs. As one of the many services we provide, I'm here to introduce you to our lending services. When a bank can't help with dreams of homeownership or growing a business, the Center for Rural Affairs can. We offer coaching and financing to help people become homeowners and to start or grow sustainable businesses. Please feel free to contact me or visit cfra.org for more information. Thank you.
Okay, so that was just a quick little video of Anthony from CFRA. And like he said, if you want to contact them, you can contact him directly or visit cfra.org. So huge thank you to them. And we also would like to thank our featured sponsor as well as our featured member. So our featured sponsor was Dawson Public Power District. That's a tongue twister. And our featured member is Rustic and Red LLC, and they have been a member since 2018. So huge thank you to them. And this week's presenter is John Z. Didn't want to butcher his last name. I told him that before. And he is with USPS, and he actually did present at our Market Tech 22 conference. And he's back with some more training and more tips and tricks. So I'm going to let him take over. And if you have any questions, pop them in the chat, and he'll either answer them as we go on or at the end. So all yours now, John.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully everybody can hear me. And let's get our screen up here. Can everybody see the screen and hear me? Good. I'm glad to be here to speak with you on shipping today. We've got lots to cover, so let's get started. The agenda we're going to run through is the state of shipping, some shipping objectives, our value proposition at the Postal Service, some products that we have and when to use and why, and then we'll talk a little bit about tips and best practices. As we all know, the pandemic has forced retailers to change their business models and reinvent the customer experience. As a matter of fact, U.S. parcel volume has grown 37% year over year. 62% of shoppers consider delivery speeds before making an online purchase. More than 9 in 10 shoppers said supporting small business is more important now than ever before. UPS has been building margins aggressively and continues to raise prices along with FedEx. In fact, they both have announced a 6.9% rate increase, and they've shifted their focus more towards small businesses away from large customers who command discounts and are trying to improve their efficiency and margins. They also have a contract that needs to be negotiated before now and next July with the Teamsters Union. FedEx has broken up with Amazon and took on delivering their own Smart Post, now known as FedEx Economy Ground, and have seen their service and margin suffer. Amazon continues to grow, although at a slower pace since COVID started to slow down, and they deliver more of their own packages. The Postal Service has come out with some discounted rates for e-commerce on our platforms, and we have a new Parcel Select product that I want to share today. And as the world shifts into recovery, businesses and organizations that ship within their own local communities need cost-effective ways to compete on shipping speed, price, convenience. We understand Main Street Postal Service. That's where we live and do business. So we want to be part of the community and be part of your success. I do a lot of presentations or proposals to customers on shipping. I also handle mail as well, but today we're talking about shipping. For a business objective for most shippers, this is a slide I put into my slide deck and generally talk about it in almost every conversation that I have with shippers. And generally the 5 or 6 bullets here stay the same. Most folks are looking to save money, concerned about transit time or speed of delivery, customer satisfaction, operational efficiencies, and just about everybody's trying to grow their online e-commerce presence. What's our value proposition? Are you shipping with us? Our niche is generally packages 10 pounds or less, business to consumer, direct to consumer, or residential. 1 to 3 day delivery, including Saturdays. And you'll hear me talk about Saturdays several times in this presentation. 6 days per week, very limited surcharges. We deliver to every address. Secure delivery in our mailboxes out of the weather. And you see a note on there about we have the security and trust of the federal postal inspectors. Tampering with mail or packages is a federal offense. Our products that we're going to walk through today, first class packages, priority mail. We'll talk about flat rate a little bit. Parcel Select Ground is a product that we're now featuring with lower rates and improved transit times. We'll talk one slide on returns. Priority Mail Express is our overnight product, our expedited product. I'm not going to spend some time on that today, but it is available. And we've got a couple slides on international as well. So first class package is our ounce-based product. That product is exclusive to the Postal Service with 1 to 4 day delivery with real-time tracking. Comes with forwarding at no charge and returned at no charge. And there is a maximum size of 22 inches for a length. But again, it's our ounce-based product for anything that's under a pound. If you're shipping something under a pound and not using first class packages, you probably want to take a look at that, is because the next slide shows you the rates are just slightly over $3 to just a little over $6. So very competitive from a rate standpoint, as opposed to shipping a 1 pound priority mail package with us, or shipping a 1 pound product with either FedEx or UPS ground. So definitely a product that you want to take a look at and understand, and be glad to help you with that. From time to time, we talk about zones, and everybody in the shipping world talks about weight and distance is done generally in zones. So what is a zone? Sometimes people talk to me. So I'm actually throwing up a zone map so you can see that. And that's a map from a zone chart, that's from Omaha, Nebraska, which would be Lincoln and Omaha both for the eastern part of Nebraska. And it shows you, much like a bullseye, that the zones get larger, or a larger number, as you move away from the central part of the US and move to the coast. So if you take a look there, you see that zone 5 gets you out to about Utah or to Columbus, Ohio, then zone 6 gets you to the corner. Why do I show you that? Is because everything's based on weight and distance. And if you don't know how far you're shipping, the zones is the way we do that. And that's the way our competitors do it. And that's a zone chart, just giving you an idea what that looks like. Again, priority mail is our flagship product. So anything that's 1 pound or greater can ship at a priority mail rate. It ships in 1 to 3 day delivery, which is kind of a hybrid, is because it doesn't ship by ground for anything that's zone 4 or higher. It actually ships on a plane, and that's how we get it to both coasts with that delivery time. We also do have some flat rate products that we'll talk about just a little bit. Tracking's included, forwarding and returns included as well. And again, it compares to ground, but it is a hybrid. It does ship a little bit faster than a ground product. This is a delivery map for priority mail, and you can see that. It shows 1 and 3 day delivery and the different colors there. I've got a customer in central Nebraska that ships with us to a distributor in Spokane, Washington. And typically that product arrives in 2 days. You can see the color on the chart there for Western Washington. Arrives in 2 days, and that individual user is actually happy, and so is the distributor, because he doesn't have to pay a UPS 2 day charge to be able to get that product there. It works very well for him. In my own experience, I ordered something a couple weekends ago over the weekend. It shipped on Monday from Southern California. Priority mail was actually delivered to my house on a Wednesday afternoon. So 2 day delivery from Southern California is actually pretty good. We have some new discounted priority mail rates out that I wanted to make sure that you're aware of. And if you're not aware of that, or if you're not getting those on your shipping platform today, we probably need to have a conversation and see what we can do to get you those rates. They represent some savings of up to $1, starting at about 6% for items that are 1 to 10 pounds and for zone 6 or less. And if you're not getting those, we'd be glad to discuss that. And we want to make sure you're using those to compare against our competitors from a shipping standpoint. Priority mail flat rates. You may know this as the product that we talk about, that if it fits, it ships. And we've done some commercials that way. It's available in several different sizes and padded envelopes. So a small, medium, and flat, as well as a padded flat rate envelope. And you can see the sizes that are there. It's actually great for shipping heavy items for a long distance, or just to simplify shipping. I worked with a customer several years ago that was new to shipping and was shipping mostly socks. and was super busy during the peak season. They had a lot of college students come in and help them part-time. In fact, they were running their business out of the basement of their house, and they turned one of the bedrooms into a shipping room to get them to figure out how to ship the quickest and fastest. So they actually set up a certain number of socks shipped in a small box and a certain number, larger number shipped in a medium box. And then if they were shipping for as many as say up to 12 socks, they would put that in a large box. It made it simple and easy for those people who were packing and shipping to be able to do that very simply and very easily. It's a great way to use our product. From a pricing standpoint, sometimes I like to show these three sides to make sure people understand that it's a flat rate. So if you're shipping things at a large distance or very heavy, it makes sense. If you're shipping something fairly light or a close difference, it doesn't make sense. So in this chart, for example, you're taking a look at a small flat rate box, which ships at a price of $8.25. You can see the blue stair step to the right and to the right-hand corner shows you what the price would be and when it makes sense to use that box. And you can see the weight and zone prices to the left and the top of when it does make sense. It doesn't make sense to use the flat rate box, excuse me. The same thing then for a medium flat rate box. Again, if you're shipping something heavy or to a far distance, it makes sense to use the flat rate medium box. If you're shipping something very light or fairly close, say to zone 3, it's 3 pounds, that's $8.60. You can ship a flat rate medium box for $4.25. So it'd be cheaper to ship that item by weight and zone rather than by flat rate. But if you're shipping something a long distance or if it's very heavy, the medium flat rate box makes a lot of sense. And not to belabor that point anymore, but you can see the same thing for a large flat rate box and the price point there and when it makes sense to use that or not. So again, just a tip or trick on when to use a flat rate box or not. Obviously, it makes sense to use it when you're shipping heavy or to a far distance. If you're shipping real close and pretty light, probably doesn't make the best sense. Use weight and zone. Parcel Select Ground is a product that we've not talked about, at least for the 8 years that I've been with the Postal Service. I primarily use it only for folks who are shipping very large, heavy packages or for hazardous materials. But in July, we actually had a rate decrease with a transit time improvement. So in January, we had a rate decrease of 12% and just a little bit more of adjustment in July. And then in July, we improved our network to be able to handle a decrease from 2 to 8 day delivery to 2 to 5 day delivery. So who are we targeting with this product? Customers who prioritize cost savings over speed would be an ideal customer. Companies that use FedEx Economy, like SmartPost or the UPS SurePost, UPS SurePost would be a great prospect. Maybe fulfillment companies that are trying to get into space and only doing regional. Maybe shippers with particular patterns, like a subscription, for example. If you ship something that goes on a monthly basis on a subscription, and it doesn't have to be there on a certain day, this might be a product to take a look at as well. So what did that rate decrease look like? I throw this slide up just so you can see that and understand what it looks like. You can see the rate chart before July 10th and the rate chart after July 10th. So if you take a 15-pound item going to zone 5, it was $32.82 before the rate decrease. After the rate decrease, it was $15.85. So about half the price to ship something by Parcel Select Ground after the July 10th decrease for rates. We've also improved our transit time. So large items potentially that aren't as time sensitive, that would be need priority mail, or large items that may be going, for example, B2B or wholesale if you're shipping something wholesale to somebody. International, we're going to spend a lot of time in international, but we wanted to cover it just from an educational standpoint so that you know we do international and what some of our most popular products are. 3 of our most popular products are Priority Mail Express International, and you can see on this chart that takes about 3 to 5 business days to deliver. We deliver to, it's over 180. This says about 190 countries. The last time I checked, it was 187, so about 190 countries. Priority Mail International is there as well. You can see that PMI, we refer to that sometimes with an acronym, about 6 to 10 business days. And First Class Package International is a product that we use for smaller, lighter packages, much like we use First Class Package here in the States domestically. So Priority Mail International, you can take a look at that slide real quickly and see items that are available there from a international mail service standpoint, 6 to 10 days. Tracking, we do have some flat rate options. Very few surcharges are added to that at all. If you're doing much international shipping at all, there's an option to a possibility to earn some discounts. I would put you in touch with an international specialist for the Postal Service that deals with this every day and knows a whole lot more about it, can do more of a deep dive with you than I can. Again, the first class package international service is very similar to our first class package here in the States. It is available up to 4 pounds, and it's going to be your best value for shipping items up to 4 pounds. And most countries accept this. Canada is probably the country that we see people shipping the most to here in the States, but also a lot to Australia, New Zealand, a lot to Western Europe. First class packages for most of those countries is a product and is tracked there, and is available for up to 4 pounds, is going to be your best value. Returns, if you're shipping things out, hopefully you don't have many things come back as a return, but occasionally it does. Wrong size, wrong color, somebody ordered something wrong. We've got a variety of solutions for shipping returns. Those can be very simple. They can be very convenient. They can come at different cost points and come at different transit times. And I like to tell folks that if you live particularly in rural areas, that we're your best solution, so you don't have to have your customer driving miles and miles to find a UPS or a FedEx drop box, or flagging down a driver from one of those carriers to be able to return something. Rural impact. Most of our competitors charge a delivery area surcharge. DAS is the acronym for that, or an extended delivery area surcharge. Where are your customers located? Are you getting charged one of those surcharges? If you take a look at this map, it shows you the rural impact. Everything on that map that's in color is getting a surcharge of some kind for a delivery area surcharge or an extended delivery area surcharges. The point I'm trying to make there is the Postal Service doesn't charge a surcharge for rural. We go to every address every day, 6 days a week, and there's no surcharge for that. The Amazon effect. I've got 3 daughters. One is a senior at UNL and be graduating. The other 2 are out of school on their own. They have an expectation that things should arrive. It seems like in 1 to 2 days, and Amazon's done a very good job of that with Amazon and Amazon Prime, and the number of facilities they have around the country and what they're doing. So if you're using a slower service, you need to make sure you're managing your customers' expectations of what that delivery time can be. I'm not telling you not to use a slower service. I'm just saying, make sure you're managing your customers' expectations as to when that'll be delivered. I often get a text from one of my daughters saying, can you track this package for me? Well, obviously, if it's the Postal Service, I can do that. I can't do it if it's with one of our competitors. And I asked them from a time standpoint, what did you pay for shipping? Or if it was free, what was the time frame to be delivered? They generally don't know that. So if you're using a slower service, make sure you're managing your customers' expectations by letting them know it's going to be 3 to 5 days in transit. Okay. We saw a delivery map already. I threw this up one more time to be able to show you that priority mail is 1 to 3 day. First class packages are 1 to 4 days. So there's one more color that would be added to that. And why did I bring this up again? It's to be able to show you what a ground for our competitors and the big brown truck would look like. This is theirs with 1 to 5 day ground delivery all across the United States. Ground's not a bad thing. It's going by truck. Our priority mail product is also a product that goes by air for anything greater than zones 4, which is why I showed you that map. So you can see how we get the 1 to 3 day delivery. Now, our delivery times for Parcel Select would be very competitive to this. And that's why we talked about Parcel Select, and it would be very comparable to what you're seeing here. The power of Saturday. Priority mail service offers delivery within 1 to 3 days of shipping, and that includes Saturday. So if you take a look at this chart, you see what that means. Now, some of our competitors do deliver on Saturday, mostly in urban areas or large metropolitan areas. I'm not sure that they deliver on Saturdays in the more rural areas. So you might want to make sure whether they're doing that or not as well. Labels. We've got just a couple slides on here. If you're using a meter works great for letters and flats. It doesn't work so well for packages. You can actually see the meter strip on here up in the right-hand corner, and they're using something called a label 400 stuck down to the bottom to be able to get them a tracking number. It does work, but it doesn't look very good, and it's probably not the best way to ship a package. That's that label 400 blown up for you, as opposed to using something like this, which is a more standard 4x6 shipping label, which is what UPS or FedEx would use. And that's what we encourage you using then, either with a smart meter or using one of our partners in the shipping world that is known as a PC postage that you can be able to generate and pay for a label that looks just like that. Okay, that's going to flow through our system a whole lot better and give you much better tracking, much better deliverability. Please don't do this. Labels need to be applied to one side of a package and not bent around another side of a package. That gives us problems in scanning and probably is going to delay the package or maybe get it misrouted around the country. Also, you can see this printer obviously needs to be cleaned. You're not getting a clean print, so we're not going to be able to scan that. And if we wanted to hand key it, we'd have trouble reading the tracking numbers that are there. So help us get your package to where they need to be correctly and efficiently. Free shipping. Everybody likes to talk about free shipping. Amazon Prime, if you're an Amazon Prime customer and you pay I'm not sure what it is, $109 or $119, gets free shipping. Obviously, that's not free. It's built into the cost or it's built into that customer fee. There is no free shipping. It's built into the price some way, somehow. So how do you implement that and at what expenditure level? We work with customers on a regular basis with that. Who gets to select how a package ships when it's free? Do you as the vendor be able to get to figure out how it ships, or your customer do that? If I pay extra for expedited shipping, say I want it overnight or a 2-day ground, do I have to pay the full rate? If you're going to ship it to me at a slower time at a lower fee, would you help subsidize that? Those are all kinds of questions that I work with customers on a regular basis and walk through what's best. There is no right answer. What's best for your business? And we all know it's free isn't free. There's a cost for it. And how do you do that? Okay. A whole slide of tips here. We'll run through each one of those bullets and ask some questions and try to provide some answers if that makes sense. Are you using only one carrier today, or do you use a second carrier to leverage and utilize what each carrier does best? Do you do rate shopping? Are you set up and shipping with a second carrier for business continuity? What if your carrier had issues either with a strike or had issues with a natural disaster? What would you do tomorrow if that brown truck didn't back up to your dock? Do you have somebody else ready to ship with you and that you're shipping with currently? If you're using packages that are under 1 pound to be shipped, first class packages are one of your best options. We encourage you to check that out if you're not aware of that. Priority mail is for anything over 1 pound, 1 to 3 day delivery, including Saturdays. And our priority mail product does include priority mail packaging, either envelopes and or boxes that is included in that price. We talked about flat rate, and I would encourage you to consider those when they make sense, either financially or if your product fits into our flat rate box. I understand that certain things don't fit into the box, but if they do, and it's very heavy and shipping for a very far distance, they make a lot of sense. We talked about using our priority mail packaging potentially. If you do that, I like to suggest to folks use a branded tape or use a sticker to be able to promote your brand so that when that box shows up with a priority mail label on it or priority mail box, you have your brand on there as well. Use PC postage or a smart meter with a label printer rather than using a meter ship, and we saw what that looked like. Do you send an email with a tracking number, a confirmation email that says your package is shipped, here's your tracking number? That's going to save you a lot of calls on where's my package and save some angst with the customer to know that you've tendered that package to the Postal Service and or one of our competitors, and they can then track that package number through their system. And we talked just briefly about returns. Do you do returns? Do you make them easy? Do you use us? Do you make them try to find a UPS or FedEx drop box or chase down a carrier and be able to do that? What's your philosophy and why, and how are you doing that? That's everything that I had today for my presentation. If I get out of this mode, I can probably see then if there's any questions that have come up. The mode I'm in right now, I can't see questions.
That's like it.
What do you do if a package is damaged? I see that. We have a claims process that we go through, much like UPS or FedEx has. That's encouraged to be done online, but it can be done over an 800 phone call. I prefer that it be done online, and there's a process that goes through that as well. And if things get delivered to the wrong place, I would encourage you to use that same process to contact our help center, either through an email or online. You can call as well to let that package know that it was delivered to the incorrect location. Hopefully that doesn't happen very often, but if it was, we will try to get that package back and get it to the appropriate location.
There's not too many people on live today.
Okay.
Must be a busy Thursday for everyone. Like, oh, there's another one from Katie.
I'm going to defer that question on liquid for what's known as what's called publication 52. If you actually Google publication 52 or walk into any post office and ask them, they're going to give you some guidance on anything that's going to be liquid or anything that's potentially a hazardous manner. Number one, can we ship it? And then number two, how best to package that product. Liquids that we do ship can be shipped, but oftentimes we say they need to put into some type of plastic bag to avoid any spillage if that product were to get punctured or to leak. But I'm going to defer to publication 52 to be able to answer that question based on, can we ship that liquid if it's something that we do ship? And if so, how that needs to ship? Because we do ship via air with priority mail, sometimes that liquid needs to be shipped by ground. And so parcel select ground would be the product you need to use, but there are sometimes certain packaging restrictions on how to do that. So I would encourage you just to Google publication 52, and that's going to tell you how to deal with that. If not, we have some experts we can set you up with if it's a little more complex, that are material safety folks who can actually tell you from an exact product standpoint what we can and can't do and how those need to be labeled and also need to be packaged to meet our criteria. Thanks for the questions. You can always talk to the local post office you want. I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to intervene from the standpoint of claims, but there are some other support people, consumer affairs, who can help with claims if there's an issue there. Claims sometimes can be a challenge, particularly if we show from a tracking standpoint that product was delivered and accepted, and you're claiming that it wasn't ever delivered. That's going to be a challenge. If you're having a lot of issues with that, that's something we could set you up with maybe some consumer affairs folks as well to have a conversation with.
Do we have any other questions for John? Of course, if you think of one after, I will have his contact information. Katie said thank you. Okay, well, since there's not too many people live, we'll just go ahead and wrap up. We got a half hour in. That's pretty good, but thank you, John. And I myself ship every single day and I still learn things from this. Shipping's a never-ending process. There's always stuff changing too.
And things change, definitely. So that's why I'm glad to present today and share some information and be able to have some dialogue about that and present some tips and best practices of some of our products. And if I can help anybody in a way, please reach out to me and I'd be glad to do so. Thanks, Janelle.
Yes, yeah. I'll definitely include your contact information within our email and then also provide you with other people so you can contact them as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and start up my slideshow real quick. Can everyone see this before I start talking? I know last week during our training it was just a black screen, so I want to know for sure before I start just rambling. All right, Katie, thanks for the confirmation. I needed that. Okay, so a special thank you to John for yet again presenting for Grow Nebraska. We greatly appreciate you taking your time out of your day to give an amazing presentation. And to everyone that joined live, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join live and hear some tips and tricks from John. And to everyone that's watching the recording, we missed you, but we're so happy that you're watching the recording. And of course, if you have any questions or need assistance with anything, you can contact me at 308-338-3520, or you can shoot me an email, zoe@grownebraska.org. There's no Y after my name, so just be warned. And some of our upcoming trainings are going to be really good. So November 17th will be Social Media 101 with Kirsten Hill from Fire Spring. She also presented at Market Tech, and several people really enjoyed her presentation. And with holiday season rolling around, we highly recommend, getting your social media stuff ready and start planning for that. And then we'll only have one in November due to Thanksgiving and one in December due to Christmas. So these next two are our last two of 2022. The next one will be December 15th, and that will also cover creating an effective social media strategy. And just like shipping, social media is also always changing, and the trends are always changing. So we highly recommend that you register, and you'll also get the recording if you're unable to attend live. They're not yet up on the social or on the website. My bad. I cannot speak today. They're not up on the website yet, but by the end of the day today, they both should be up. So just keep checking back. And then we also have some plans for our 2023 Grow Nebraska training. So keep your eyes peeled. And then our Grow with Google series, the next one is November 2nd. This will cover digital skills for everyday tasks. And then we have one more for the year on December 7th, which will cover design thinking for entrepreneurs. Both are led by Dave and Sixia with Google, and these are available in Spanish from 6 to 7 and also in English from noon to 1. So these are live on the website already, so you can go ahead and hop onto the website right after this and get registered for those. And then this is quickly approaching, so I'm going to touch base on it again. It's a $10,000 grant opportunity now available from Verizon. To be eligible to apply, users must complete any combination of 2 courses, coaching events, and community events before November 14th. So November is going to be here by next week, and you just got to complete 2 courses. And even after you do two courses, we highly recommend that you continue to do them. I myself have done a few, and wow, you learn a lot in them. That's all I'm going to say. And they're self-paced. So if you're like, hey, I can't finish this one right now, you can stop it and then come back to it, which is super nice because, life is crazy, things come up. So I really like that feature about it. And of course, if you have any questions on how to register or any questions about courses, or if you're eligible for the $10,000 grant, please reach out to the Grow Nebraska team or the Grow Nebraska Women's Business Center, as they partnered with them. And the link to register will be included in the training after email. So be on the lookout for that. It will go out here in a few hours. So that is everything. But thank you all to you that joined live, and also to everyone that's going to watch this recording, and a big thanks to John. So that is everything for today, and we hope you have a great rest of your week, and we are almost to the weekend, everyone. So thank you. Bye.